So this is the Limtoys 112 The Last of Us 2-pack of Joel and Ellie from the first game. This is a third-party release. This is why it's unlicensed, and you see The Rest of Us as the title of the box. So it's a third-party unlicensed company that went ahead and gave us like a Mezco 112 collective style Joel and Ellie. So it's got the soft goods and a bunch of accessories. So here's the back of the box. Says Fedra. Pretty cool box overall. Alright, so when you open it, there is actually 3 boxes within that one box. And you see here there's a separate box for Joel and a separate box for Ellie. And also a separate box for an accessory pack here that comes with a Molotov cocktail, a machete, a gas mask, and also a baseball bat right there. And then, of course, the small box is Ellie, and the big box is Joel right there. So these figures actually took a very long time to release. I pre-ordered these things over 3 years ago. It kind of went silent for a while. I thought they canceled it, but they were still indeed working on it, and here they are finally released. And they look pretty darn good, I must say. They're not terrible. They're actually really good. The tailoring is done very nicely on the figures. The likeness, while it may not be 100%, I think it's pretty darn close, especially Joel. Joel's the best one. Ellie could use some work. I mean, it kind of looks like her from certain angles, but from straight ahead, it doesn't really look like her, at least to me. And of course, this is the younger Ellie. I do feel like Ellie's arms are a little long. I think it's the hands that seem like they're very big. So it just looks like she's got big old long orangutan arms there, unfortunately. Joel proportionally looks pretty okay, looks good. No issues with him. And overall, the details are pretty nice. You know, we got some blood on the clothing, the printing on the clothing, everything on the clothing is actually really nice for a 112 collective. Or sorry, I said 112 collective like I'm reviewing a Mezco, but I meant to say like a 6-inch figure, a 112 figure. So they do come with a ton of accessories, which is amazing. I mean, it's a lot. So let's go ahead and get through it. First and foremost, we have Joel's backpack, which is heavily detailed. Like, this is amazing work. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at that. You can see all of the details there, the buckles. It's dirty. It's not a clean backpack. The flashlight's already strapped on there. Very cool. Nicely detailed. It's a real zipper. It's just nicely done. So that's Joel's backpack. Then we, of course, do have weapons for Joel, starting with an axe here. Super detailed as well. Everything is just nicely painted and sculpted. It's just amazing. So there's the axe. We also do get a pipe, which we know we use this weapon in the game. Also very nicely detailed. Got some rust on there as well. We also do get a baseball bat. This is part of that accessory pack that you saw, that little box. There's the baseball bat. Again, there's some blood on there. Good sculpt, good detail. Here is that machete. Also has some dry blood. Good detail. The handle, check that out. Very nice. Of course, we need some guns, so we have a shotgun here. Pump action is not a working pump action, but the detail on it is pretty phenomenal. So there's the shotgun. We also do get his famous revolver. There it is. It does have a hole in the barrel, so you could probably attach effects to it. We also do get it looks like a 1911, but probably not. It's a regular pistol here, not a revolver. Very nice detail. He does use one of these as well in the game. We can't have The Last of Us without a brick to throw at some clickers. So there's a brick. Then we get a, handcrafted bomb here, which if you play the game, that's exactly what it looks like. We also get a gas mask for the spores. Very cool. It's got a real fabric strap, elastic strap, so you can strap it around his head. But there it is. And then we get his watch, which his daughter Sarah gave to him in the beginning of the game. It is broken, as you see, as it should be. It's broken right there. And then we get a Molotov cocktail. So here it is. Some good details on that as well. We have a shiv, which you craft in the game as well. Just the detail on this is just absolutely phenomenal on everything in this pack. We get a broken pair of scissors here, which again, if you played the game, you know why we use scissors as weapons. When you craft it, you can craft it on, put it on the bat or a 2x4 or the pipe, and make yourself like a, you know, an even more gruesome, violent weapon there. So those are all of the weapons and attachments that come with Joel. You can see Joel has a pair of fists out of the box. So in terms of hands, we get an alternate set of hands that are a little bit calm but open. And the detail on these are just awesome. Like they look really good, man. They look alive, like very realistic. We get the grabby hands, of course, to grab all those weapons I just showed you. And then we also do get the trigger finger hands so that the weapons that I showed you can go in them. So Joel comes with that, and then last but not least, Joel, as well as Ellie, comes with a base and a stand. So here's the base. They're both the same, with like a street printed on there, but the front has the actual names. They didn't go with like a, random name. I guess they can get away with this since it's hidden within the package, but they went with Joel Miller, which is great. At least we don't get to see like Joe or, something that just doesn't make sense because they can't use the real names. But anyways, here's the stand. It's a crotch grabber stand. Not like you really need it because they stand just fine. But if you just want to use the base there, stand them on there without the stand, you can. It'll look pretty cool. There's also this really cool Stages of Infection poster. Also the backside, it kind of shows you how to strap those scissors onto some of the weapons there with this adhesive that it comes with, so it's an option. There's also another pair of broken scissors right there. As for Ellie, here's her backpack, and it's just as detailed, just as amazing as Joel's, but she does have her little keychain, her little buttons that she has on in the actual game, so that's very, very cool. I dig it. Looks great. Again, dirtied, detailed. Flashlight's already attached to it. It's just some amazing work. These Chinese third-party companies actually do better work than some of the licensed companies, unfortunately. Another break for Ellie. Here it is. Compared to the other ones, the same thing. Maybe slightly different color, but it's the same exact mold. Ellie does come with different weapons. She comes with the sniper rifle, which of course you can interchange between the two, give it to Joel instead if you want, vice versa. But here is the sniper rifle with the scope. Look at the detail on that stock right there. Like, that's just amazing. Even on the barrel, everything looks great. It's awesome stuff. Then we do get a pistol. She does have a pistol in the game. We also get the bow and arrows. So an actual working bow with a string. I expected nothing less. Check out the detail on that. And she comes with a number of 4 arrows. Now, mine unfortunately came warped in the package, so the feathers on these things are kind of crooked. So it's soft pliable plastic. I think I could probably mold it back straight. But these arrow tips do come off. I don't know if they're supposed to, but it came off with this one right here. I'm probably just gonna stick it back in or glue it back on. So they're probably not supposed to come off. I may have broken that one, but you can see the ends of it are just a little bit warped from the package. They used a weird clamshell package that kind of warped, I guess, from the heat. So everything was kind of getting constricted a little bit. Of course, her famous little pocket switchblade is also included. And then last but not least, we see the gigantic open hands on that figure. We do also get grabby hands, so we can put some of those weapons in her hands, and then the trigger finger hands. So what she doesn't come with is a pair of fists. She can't really punch anybody. So trigger finger hands, grabby hands, and then the open calm hands that are on the figure itself is all she comes with for hands. Alright, so here's a closer look at Joel. And there's the face sculpt. They both come with just one head sculpt. I do wish they came with at least one swappable head sculpt, but they do come with a lot of accessories, so it is what it is. But think that extra icing on the cake would have been an extra head sculpt. Maybe open mouth or screaming or something like that. But they went with some dark eyes on this guy, a little too dark, but hey, it's the apocalypse. He's freaking tired probably and hasn't slept in days. And yeah, very stressful situation they're living in. So it makes sense. I mean, that looks like it. That looks so good for a 6-inch figure. They really knocked it out of the ballpark in terms of the head sculpt. It's like a soft rubbery plastic for the chest too. Very cool. You can see the detail on the skin in the chest hair and all that. You see some blood on the shirt. Would have been cool to get some alternate clothing. Maybe I'm asking for too much. I'm fine with this. Honestly, I am. But you know, it'd be cool to get some winter clothes. Maybe they'll release them again, but with the winter clothes or something else. Would like to get some Last of Us Part 2 versions of them. That'd be awesome. There's the backside. There's the jeans. And then the boots right there. Overall, super dope. Looks great. Let's go ahead and articulate him, see how he moves. Alright, so the head actually moves quite a bit. I believe it's a ball joint barbell peg. Looks down. You see how it kind of rebounds back though? That neck is rubbery. But he does look down enough. Left and right. Head tilting. Overall, I love the head. Oh, there it is. So it's on this type of joint. So it is kind of, yeah, it is a barbell peg. It's not a ball joint. So this is an easy, like, they could easily make us some alternate heads, maybe on a separate pack. But very cool. There it is. Arms are gonna be a little stiff. Going forward, I don't want to break him, so this is as far as I'm being allowed to go right here. This one moves a little bit more, but you see, because of the clothing, it's not really allowing him to move all the way up. In and out, he can move out this far. It looks like we do have a butterfly joint, because you can see the whole shoulder move like this. So there is that. We have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, swivel at the wrist with a hinge, a ball jointed hinge there. As for the torso, I feel a diaphragm joint in there, also a ball jointed waist. So a lot of torso articulation, swivel, tilting, all you can think of is there. It's a good body. Legs will kick forward about this far, as far as the jeans allow him to. He's even wearing socks, you can see there. So that's very nice. In and out, as far as, you know, it allows him to as well, because he's going to rip his pants if you go full split. So it's Joel. I don't expect him to do that. There is a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, as well as the ankles can go forward and back. They rock, they swivel, and that's it. There's no toe hinge on the foot, but overall he's super articulated. Very nice. This is very like Mezco-ish here. So, and the joints are now loose. They're nice and tight, normal, good quality stuff here. This is my first Limtoys action figure in 6-inch form, and they did not disappoint. This is amazing stuff. This is just as good as the licensed stuff, really. So there's Joel. Let's take a closer look at Ellie. Here she is. And like I said, this is young Ellie from the first game. So it does look like her from like this angle. That's all her right there. Forward, I mean, it looks like her, but it's like, I want to say 85 to 90% likeness. There's a 10% there that just is off a little bit. I don't know what's doing it. Could be the lips, could be the eyes. Something's doing it. But from some angles, it looks just like young Ellie. No issues at all. Like, that's her. And then the arms, of course, I already complained about how long they are. And the hands are just gigantic. Arms are going to go forward all the way up. This one's able to move furthermore because it's not as thick as Joel's shirt. Goes down. Let's go ahead and get her back here a little bit further away. In and out. I just popped the arm out. Looks like it's a ball joint. There you go. So it's on a ball jointed arm. Yeah, it pops out if you go too far. Now she has a broken arm, but let's get it back in there. There you go. You hear it pop, you know it's back in the socket. So I guess you can't really stretch it out too far. There is a butterfly joint in there as well. Bicep swivel. Is there a bicep swivel? There may not be. No. There is no bicep swivel. It's just a shoulder butterfly joint. It looks like we have a double jointed elbow. You see how much that bends. It's a little loose on mine. But overall, I know I just mentioned all the joints are pretty good. It's a little loose. At least for the right elbow there for me. There's a swivel ball jointed hinge for the wrist. Diaphragm joint, I feel a... Yep, there is a diaphragm joint at the upper torso, as well as that ball jointed waist in there too. So, twisting, tilting, swiveling. Legs will kick forward as much as you are comfortable with those pants. So it's it does get hindered. We're talking about soft goods here, so it does get hindered. She does have socks on too. I like that feature. In and out as far as you are comfortable with. You can see there I'm kind of stretching the pants there. I do not want to rip the pants, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Legs are gonna double joint like this, and then for the ankles they go forward and back. They swivel. They rock. They do everything. So there's Ellie. Look how dirty those shoes are. I like the realism there. The sculpt is there. So man, this is just some top tier stuff by this company. I believe this 2-pack, I believe these figures were about $60 each, I want to say. It's not bad, you know. This is some good stuff. There's Joel in his backpack. Fits like a glove. Look at this. And here's Ellie with the backpack, which also fits pretty good. But you do got to play with that ponytail a little bit. You might have to put it on one side or the other, or maybe tuck it within the backpack. Something like that. That works. Also, taking a close look at Joel, his shirt is on Velcro, so you can take it off if you want. There's the sculpt underneath. You can see that the skin tone does not match. Obviously, he's not meant to be shirtless, so I guess that's why. But it would be cool if it matched. That way, if you want to get creative, you could. But there is the there it is. He does have a belt, which we didn't see, but look, it's already attached to him. Got a belt with a buckle and everything. That's pretty cool. So this spore mask or gas mask is something that you can put on him. He doesn't really wear it much in the game, and I'm definitely not gonna display him covering his face. So I figured you can loop it within the belt there, because he does have it hanging off of his side somehow in the game. So I think this kind of works. We get this shirt back on. It's just hanging from his belt, and that looks kind of cool. Looks good. I mean, the shirt is kind of hanging on top, but I think if you finagle it, it'll come out looking pretty good. So something like that. It's not too bad. Now Joel does have these straps on the side of his backpack. I don't know if they're meant for this, but you can put some of his weapons on there, and it does stay. So I know in the game he carries it with his backpack, so that makes sense. His gun doesn't have a strap though. Unfortunately, it's not gonna strap on behind him or on his backpack. I guess you could put it through that little strap as well, and it'll stay. But I mean, you got a whole bunch of weapons here to work with, so a lot of options. So in the first game, he did this here with the second sidearm. This is how he holstered it between his I guess pant and body. It wasn't the back pocket, wasn't anything else. So I managed to get it in there. Looks pretty good. I mean, I think that looks pretty good. So he's slowly coming together now. Alright, so let's go ahead and throw in some other figures for comparison next to these two figures. I'm not throwing Marvel Legends. They normally do scale bigger. So let's see how they look like next to these figures here. Here is Peter Parker. Here's Smythe from that same 2-pack. Just because they're recent releases, I still got them hanging around the review station. But there's a look at that scale there. Then next to some Star Wars figures. Black Series to be exact. We have the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show Darth Vader, and then we have Commander Appo, Target exclusive figures. Next to Mezco, here is Logan, and I know Logan's a short character, so I guess it's not really fair. But you can just see the proportions here. It's a little bit bigger on the Mezco 112. The head is huge on Logan compared to Joel and Ellie. The fist, just the proportions overall are just bigger on the Mezco 112 Collective Logan. And I'll throw in Mezco 112 Collective Gordon, more of a casual character, right? You can see scale's bigger, he's taller, proportionally he's bigger too. So this one scales a little bit better. We have a third-party suited body with a third-party Tony Stark head. So it's a little bit more to the size and proportion of this third-party set of figures. But Tony still is a little taller. Maybe, let's see, next to Joel. They're about the same height. I think these scale a lot better than the Mezcos do. Alright, next is some actual licensed Last of Us figures. We have the NECA, Last of Us Part 2, Joel and Ellie. So of course these are from the second game, so they're much older. Joel's older, Ellie's older and bigger, and also NECA scale's bigger than 6-inch, so it's gonna be bigger already. But there's just a comparison in case you wanted to see the two side by side. So that's gonna wrap things up on this review of the Limtoys The Rest of Us, aka The Last of Us, Joel and Ellie 2-pack 112 soft goods figure. I mean, this is some great stuff. I don't know if this video convinced you to buy this or not, but you know, when it comes to third-party figures, when they go up for pre-order, it's always a gamble, especially when it's coming from a company you've never ordered before. It's a Chinese company, they're not licensed. You don't know how they're going to come out. They could be junk, they could be loose joints, they could be nothing like the prototypes, nothing like the promo pics, or they could be great like this. We've all seen the Punisher third-party figure that ended up being garbage. So it's always a risk. But I'm happy to report that The Last of Us by Limtoys are just as good as they looked in the promo images from 4 years ago. So I'm glad they kept going. If anything, the time maybe gave them the opportunity to perfect these figures because they're amazing. So with that said, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and as always guys, take care, take it easy, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.